Ekitabo Beyond Accountability obuli bw'enguzi mu Uganda kiwandiikiddwa Edward Kazibwe. Beyond Accountability kyanika obuli bw'enguzi mu bitongole bya gavumenti n'abantu ssekinnoomu bwe bakolagana okubulankanya ensimbi y'omuwi w'omusolo. Twogira ku bbula ly'eddagala mu malwaliro, enguudo embi wamu n'obwavu mu bannayuganda. Abakulu mu gavumenti bali ku ssente z'omuwi w'omusolo n'ezeewoleddwa mu mawanga g'ebweru bekkusa. Ekitabo kirambika obuli bw'enguzi okuviira ddala ku Obote eyasooka mpaka ku Museveni, okugeza akavuyo akali mu ddeeru ya zaabu n'amasanga agabbibwa e Congo ku mulembe gw'Obote eyasooka, enguzi eyali mu Uganda Airlines nga NRM yakajja mu buyinza, emivumba gy'ennyonyi egyaguzibwa Uganda mu 1997 n'ensimbi ezaabulankanyizibwa mu nnamagye eddaani byakutaaga. Okuliyirirwa kuzze kukolebwa naye nga mu kwemulugunya, okugeza Expect Trade Limited, Basil Engineering ne kampani z'abasajja balaba. Okubbibwa oba okubulankanya ssente za Global Fund ezaali zirina okujjanjaba abalwadde ba mukenenya, omusujja gw'ensiri n'akafuba. Tebikomaawo, wabula ne ssente ezasasula abakozi ab'empewo mu magye, ensimbi za Goa n'emivuyo mu kampuni ya TriStar eyali ekulibwa Kananathan. Ensimbi ezaabulankanyizibwa mu lukuŋŋaana lw'amawanga agaali amatwale ga Bungereza olwali mu Uganda mu 2007, emivuyo gy'NSSF ne Temangalo, obuli bw'enguzi mu NADS, ssente za posta ezaabuzibwawo, ssente z'amagaali agaali galina okugabibwa abantu ezaabulankanyizibwawo, ssente za microfinance ezabbibwa, ssente z'akasiimo k'abakozi abali mu East African Community ezabbibwa, obubbi obwali mu ofiisi ya Ssaabaminisita mu 2012, akasiimo k'abakozi ab'empewo abaasasulwa okuyita mu Ministry y'ebyensimbi, emivuyo emirala egyali mu ofiisi ya Ssaabaminisita mu mwaka gwa 2021 egyalimu ssente ezabbibwa ezaali zirina okugula embuzi okuwa abantu e Karamoja n'amabaati agabbibwa abakungu ba gavumenti. Obuli bw'enguzi mu gavumenti ez'ebitundu, engeri gye bakozesa abantu abalala okutambuza ssente ze babbye mu gavumenti n'engeri gye bakolamu amakampuni ebweru w'eggwanga okukukusa eminyago gyabwe. Munnayuganda zuukuka, eno y'essaawa omanye eggwanga lyo. Akatabo kagenda fuluma nga 3 January mu library za Uganda zonna ne ku kibanja kya Amazon. Abayizi ba university bo baakwefunira kopi ez'obwereere. Era akeetaaze bwereeza okusaba ku kibanja oba email beyondaccountability@yahoo.com.
Welcome back to the Investigator TV. Like, share, and subscribe. It is the Uganda Airlines cabin crew exposé. Wonderful story. A 6-year wait of a very patient man and his other colleagues. It is a story that he tells with a passion. But behind that suit and smiling face is pain and anguish of having invested a lot of time for a job that has never come by. Bwana Irabizi, yes, wanechitanda muchimaliriza mutunudde eri mama wa pilot ye landlady, pilot abadda amugumya ate namwe abagumya abavuddemu, oli mukwano gwo unscrewing ekitanda tugenze mu maaso tugende.
Kati abandaba okubajjukizaako Mr. Jacko oyogedde ku the 6 long year wait nenzijjukiza I beg your pardon. I normally equate our story to the Israelite story in the Bible. They were supposed to move for 40 days. They ended up moving for 40 years. But if we were supposed to wait for just 1 week, 1 week is 6 years now. But anyways, kati back to the story. Nali ntunga munga muganda wange ono gwe nali nfunye naye nyumba ankubira. Makyu tukoze kyonna within that period of time tusabye tugenze wa Pastor Tom mutondwe tusibye dry week number 2 nga we are trying to push because this friend of mine is a Mulokole, like one of our staunch born again, so ngagamba stani akutechi obuwanguzi bwaffe naye tuyina we have to deal with him the best way we know how, so we did whatever we could.
Omulokole nnyo atuta atali mulokole nnyo asibe dry wazimala keze nako
atudde omulokole musiraamu Pastor Tom basibe. So actually twasibayo week number kati the 4 days nga tusiba the usual fasting, like no siba no breaking at the first akawungeezi ng'abasiraamu bakola then the last days ezikola week yo ne tukola dry abalokole bakimanyi what dry is. You go for 3 days without food, without water, to the extent nti omalako 3 days nga ne throat nkalu nnyo to the maximum nti newoli ekintu owulya it's hurting. You need nga the throat temanyidde byonna nga tunoonya buwanguzi bwaffe kati nkuzaayo erindi ntungamo muganda wange ankubira ngamba byayononese dda nti ate kiki nti maama atusabye tufune we tutwala ebintu bino weba natutereeza we'll get back. Kati ate kyekiri kye mbadde nkugamba nti nawe wokitunulamu singa yagumiikiriza n'agamba kambawo omwezi gw'okuna newe yandigumiikiriza omwaka, could she wait for 6 years? She couldn't. So yali mutuufu. In fact ye yatuyamba notuyamba. I'm really glad kubanga singa yatugamba nti kambawe iyo emyezi emirala 3 naye mujja jinsasula naye ng'agambye kale kambawe liwe twandizisasudde ate ng'era tetufunye na kyetu. So kati ye yatuyamba,
maama yabayamba naye mutabani we pilot ye yabalemesa yandibasuniddeko.
Siyinza kulowooza bwentyo because musajja wattu naye ayinza okuba pilot naye nga tamanya ate byamunda bya management.
Ate lwaki yababuuliranga
story ki eyo tugumya omuntu omugumya ngo okuzaamu essuubi. Walaba movie eno eriko ennaku zino gye bayita The Long Walk.
The only thing about Long Walk, nasoma akatabo ka Nelson Mandela bakaita The Long Walk to Freedom. I'm not a fan of movies.
You're not a fan of movies. All movies bagita Long Walk, but it was all about walking oyina kugumya munno naye nga naawe essuubi toliyina naye oyina okugumya kuli lanye because losing a pace yenna bagenda mukuba essasa afe. So ng'olina okuzaamu munno ne woba tolina kyamugamba n'omunyumiza story. So bambi yali atu-motivating to keep going and to keep trusting in the Lord for everything to get to normal, but it never did. So tuyingidde 2020 successfully. Tuyingenze mu fireworks tusabye of course muzi overnight tulangiridde nti guno omwaka
the new millennium
guno
ekijja kijje
ekijja kijje ffe tugenze tusimbudde shwi
kunyonyi I don't want to know
tulangiridde tugenze mu 2020 2020 January. The story kati jebatu wa January nti twakava mu festives things haven't gone back to normal. So nga you can clearly see byonna bye nga nabo bibatabuseeko but just bawangaza bulamu waliwo kye bayita okuwangaza obulamu nti tebagala bakutula nti tewali kiddako naye just from one kati January twakava mu gondi things tebinadda to normal biki munindeko mu Feb awo Feb starts we have an engagement era twagenda na ku Uganda Airlines kwennyini ne tutula nabo mu board meeting awo bakatutemera. I remember it was February 2nd tutuula mu
February 2nd
2020 yes.
The boardroom ngeruwa mwatula boardroom ne
boardroom Uganda Airlines offices.
Where?
Next to the UN offices in Entebbe. That nga wakava Kitubulu, is it Kitubulu? What is that last stop taxi wezikoma? Is it Kitubulu? I've forgotten.
Our producer says
Chitoro. Yes, Chitoro. Thank you.
Bad man, yes.
Yeah, like a producer. Nga wakava mu Chitoro. Our taxi wezikubira U-turn zo zidde Kampala. Kati awo, when you make that U-turn and take an immediate left ku luguudo kwennyini kuliko offices za United Nations, then obeereza munogenda kati eyo wali offices za Uganda Airlines bagamba nti ne president gyalinyira nti ye tajja nnyo mweno tamino yaffe feno gye tulinyira nti ye alinyira eyo ku
ate sebo gwabadde agenda mu byennyonyi gwabimanyi onyumiza nze
exactly kati president gyalinyira ye talinyira eno the general public the first citizen gyalinyira. So nga tugenda we have an engagement with them nga tubabuuza just to follow up what is not happening. Si mu bubi because mu budde eyo as the story progresses mu budde anja bagamba batukako ekiseera ne batugamba nti we have a sense of entitlement. Naye ffe twali tetufollowing up mu bubi naye nga emirimu twagifuna mu bulungi nga wena banyonyodde nga tetulina ssente personally and I could speak on behalf of the team, at least the original 12 team, because abantu batukano tugamba nti tebagibawa because akakaseera emweyo 1 week mwe mwali mulina okusumulukuka mwe temwasoma akapande mwasoma bubi okitegeera kati ffe tetwasoma kapande mweyo 1 week tulinze ffe tuguze bitanda tuli eri twebaka tulya n'otulo tetwebaka tulalamu si twa bulijjo
kano ke bagamba ngugumuke ekiro
kumbe things eri biri mu kugira our names ziva ku list endala ziddako in a way we cannot explain. So the 2nd of February tugenda ku Uganda Airlines. This is when we find out nti these 2 individuals omwami Ndereya n'omukyalo ono gwena, this is when we find out nti wakyali mu human resource nga waliwo abantu abalala babiri. Besimanyo, if I can share their names over, it will be overstepping my boundaries, but waliwo abalala, and for purposes of clarity and the authenticity, yes, okay. So I will say maybe one of their names. So waliwo omukyala nga amuyita Miss Julie, then n'omwami bamuyita Mukulu Sebowa. Kati we sit in a boardroom. Jukira oli twatula na Ndereya n'ono omukyala omulala gwe nagize kati tutudde ne Julie ne Sebowa. Kati Julie ne Sebowa batugamba ebyammwe tetubitegeera bulungi what happened. Abo abantu babayita mu nsobi, babayita mangu. They called you, who even gave them, they didn't have the rights or jurisdiction to call you. Julie ne Sebowa batugamba nti bali ababiri abasooka tuyita tebayina luksa tuyita.
Mwe advert mwagirabawo?
Twagiraba ku website ya Uganda Airlines. That we dealt with Uganda Airlines. Ne interview process we were dealing with authentic Uganda Airlines people. Ne mu kutula mu boardroom, twatula ku boardroom ya Uganda Airlines.
Nga ne mberaga
officials betugenda bo ba Uganda Airlines.
So the meeting marries the information eyali ku website.
Yes.
So you in your understanding it was official.
Yes, in our understanding it was official. But when batugamba tebayina luksa tuyita. Ne bagamba kati tugenda okukola okubayamba because ffe twajja ne tugamba okay tukitegedde abatuyita sibe batuufu abaali batuyise, but the process yali ntuufu era here we are with you people namwe muli authentic. So tusaba buyambe, tusaba mutuyambe. Ne batugamba the only way we tugenda obayamba is this. Ne batugamba nti tugenda ku advertising again. But if the post of cabin crew has been re-advertised, mumanye nti we are sorry to say, but tuba tubasudde. Jukira all this while nga fe tumanyi tuli ku waiting list. Ne bagamba if the post of cabin crew has been re-advertised, kitegeza tubasudde.
That means you had been?
Yes, exactly. Era nabo actually that meeting nabo bakiriza nti we were on a waiting list. Era ne batugamba nti weba posted re-advertise kitegeza tubasudde. Kitegeza we are somewhere we bali batuterese because tasola sura kintu kyotamanyiko in the first
so
place.
There might have been an official cabin crew,
yes,
12.
Yes.
And another 12 in the shadows.
Exactly.
Under the
ghost
pseudo of being.
Exactly. On the waiting list. So, nga batugamba if the post has been re-advertised, you reapply. Tuba tubasudde. If it has been simply advertised, cabin crew, because in most cases when advert comes, ebeerako post nyingi, pilot, cabin crew, so you apply according mu kitimu ogwa. Kati era bali boogera ku post ya cabin crew because mwetugwa. Ne batugamba if the post of cabin crew is simply advertised, not re-advertised, kitegeeza muli safe. Tunoonya bali bulijjo be tubagamba 25 tubagatte ku mmwe abali ku waiting list mu training elumu because tetusobola ba training nga muli batono. Ne tudde emutundwe nga ffe ntalo za ne tudde emutundwe ne tugamba kati Mukama Katonda postage twagala ogirabako ng'eri advertise. Mukama yanukula essaala z'abantu be postage ejja eri advertise. Ne tusanyuka ne tukyakyancho manyi kati tugenda
pastor ne mumuwe ekimu eky'ekkumi ekijja kijje
Makiuna we ekimu eky'ekkumi kya Myland nawe ekimu eky'ekkumi ne nkwata omudede ne nguwa 10% of what I sold. I gave a tithe. I even became an example in church. Pastor waba abulira enjiri agamba mbeere ng'omukulu
Waliwo pasitani oyo.
Yeah. Kati, in this meeting, Mr. Julie, I beg your pardon,
Seboa.
Mr. Seboa and Madam Julie instruct us. Nebagamba wasobola tuyambira nga the re-advertising against the advertising on the post. Post comes out and re-advertise. Netugamba kama webale otujjukidde yanokudde sala zaffe. We even write a team because we had even created not only a WhatsApp group but even an email address and that team 12. So we send Madam Julie an email to Muwozako greetings. We saw the advert, but the post is simply advertised. Makyu, this happened in the COVID season. Kati olonga tulina mu COVID. But of course, mu COVID, tried to sort of cover down their case because we knew that the whole world was shut down. So when they advertised, we were still in COVID. Nenga tumuvamu aunga aleseni nzene tugamba we understand the situation is still unclear. Nga tuchali mwezi of 42 days if 21 42 21.
It became a song.
Another
21 days.
Another iranga nga alien skin we are yimba ntitonzijukiza bya lockdown. Wanga it was a rough time. But anyways, netumu sindikia email netumugamba we saw the advert, it simply advertised, we are glad that we are safe.
You sent an email as the
group team 12. We are glad that we are safe as the team, so we await the other colleagues, the 25 mugendo later on our list to training again. Kati ekiraga nti this was a deliberate move. Which move? I need to highlight this. Kino kye batugamba nti re-advertise again, re-advertise ne advertised. It was a deliberate move to push us out. But yeah, even when we sent an email to her, I'm quite sure because people in the corporate world tebalinga abana abantu abatasoma. Akibira emails because kitegera muntu ali the elite yasoma akibira emails. So
by nature of her job, yes, she should be checking mail.
Checking mail, exactly. So yajida ba naji ignoring deliberately. It is only after deadline that I reach out. Kati nange ngamba singa kale I reached out earlier, but it is what it is. Nze nali manyi yajiraba olusi osobola gamba yajirabe natatuddamu because ali busy, but she got the memo. She got the information. Kati only after deadline nga tulaba tatuddamu I raise her on phone. Mugamba Madam Julie, greetings bichi twalabye advert, but it was simply advertised that none of us applied. Nga wakantema omuganda agamba ke batemani nga akantema nangamba basebo ne banyabo mwali mulina applyinga ne mugamba nedda Madam Julie nengezaako ku reasoninga naye mwatugamba bwetu ne bwetu Makyu by that time nkati nga abantu abagezi naffe twali tutandise when the wait became long naffe ne tuddamu obwongo ne tuddamu ne tutandika okuti ne tugamba naye nno wano tujja kwetaaga some level of evidence here and there. Kati when we went for that second meeting ya 2nd February, we recorded them. Nga batugamba categorically nti only apply if post is re-advertised. If it's simply advertised, don't apply. Nga akantema no kantema nti Makyu 8 of you reapplied. Kati ekyo ate yalinganga omuntu omunaba muzanya.
And in that audio mwe kalinga, yes, that said Julie nga ayogera.
Yes.
8 of you reapplied. Where are the other 4?
Exactly. Kati mubanga bazanya a game of
ping pong
or chess or playing cards. Omuntu nakuba joker. Yalinga nkubye joker. I was taken aback by that nengamba tekisoboka. Era in my mind nze nganze omuntu. Nagamba she's just saying that to silence me or okundismissinga. Era namugamba okay, thank you bichi, like for formality and being humble. Gamba thank you ne musibula. Then I ran very fast to the group. Nemba gamba Madam Julie. In fact sabagamba nabinji because I had the audio najitekayo butesi. Bona ne bewulirako.
Madam Julie jebale kunyabo.
Kale bangi najiba.
Kale kati onansoni okukubira on a weekend.
It's okay, who is this?
Now this is Stallone.
Who?
Stallone. Uganda Airlines.
Yes.
Yes, madam, kambadde just nkukubiddeko kusaba ku setting an appointment with you. Nga nsaba tujje ku office twogereko naawe because we sat in the meeting the other time with you and Mr. Sebowa. Ne mutugamba nti no, we shouldn't reapply if the position hasn't been re-advertised, but then I understand that some 8 members amongst the 12 group reapplied.
What did the advert say?
Sorry? The advert of the cabin crew. The advert said that the position, they advertised again.
Exactly.
But what, maybe we misunderstood you, but you told us that it would be re-advertised.
We did not tell you that we told you for the moment we cannot take you in. If another advert comes out, even if it has, I remember 3 people asked that question 3 times.
Yes, please.
Should we apply? And we emphasized yes. It doesn't guarantee that if you are on the waiting list that you will be taken. So if there's another opportunity for application, you apply.
Auntie, madam, what you...
And some of your friends applied.
Yes,
so now
we
the
got
few
to
of you who did not apply are going around misquoting us.
The 12 of us, who are the 8 individuals that are applying? Even when we saw the advert, since we had a WhatsApp group, even when we saw the advert, we told each other.
You are as tight as the 12 aviation disciples.
We used to even do fellowship together. Katinga wutuafuka birthdays and family. We used to do fellowship together. Tugene mutu ndofena, tugena kone ku beach nga tulinze nyo juke.
Muva mu fellowship mu beach.
Yes. Juke twali tuwera nyo. Anti kati juke twali tuwera nyo ente. Nga tete tukola. Tuli mu waiting. So we had a lot of time nga tusiba ku beach nga tuwulira ko kawewo we tulaba ku nyonyi nga tugamba tu.
Abatanayiga kuuga ku bulungi muyize. Mulaba abaana ba hostesses abakyala bali mu bikini.
Exactly.
Wagwa.
Nyonyi we zituyitako nga tugamba face. Only a
matter of time.
We are coming. Nga kasuku wagamba. Ati tugenda mu group tugamba who applied and who didn't. And of course, everybody was like, that is now the hypocrisy amongst people.
The 12 aviation disciples.
Kati nga fefe nyini tutandise bagamba omuganda agamba ayawukana ku mugendo afuuka kaasa. Kati nga tutandise okwawukana. The 8 become 4 now. Nti omunana ba applying, but everybody was saying they didn't apply. But now as time I think it's you who...
Time tells tales.
Exactly. Time told indeed. As you always say. Tulaba one left at midnight. Mweba se in the morning okulaba ku team 12 bana mwasuze mutya muli 9. Mwasuze mutya muli 6. Mwasuze mutya ngoro batandise okwesaving omuko omu bagenda ba reapplying. Naffe abamanyi instructions we stuck to the instructions. Kati around this time okugenda ke mabega when akubira Madam Julie angambe nti I had to reapply. Kati nengenda ko mu panic mode. I called the other lady when I considered nze erinnya lye but betwadiringa naye abatuyita
abasoka Ndereya.
Munne wa Ndereya. I called the lady. She's a very sweet lady. She's a friend. Yes, she's sweet.
So now she has become sweet.
No, she has always been sweet.
Gena mu maso.
She has always been
denied
sweet.
you an opportunity to work among cabin crew and she's sweet.
Yamutabukako mukazi watto. Omanyi shit happens like they say. Shit happens. Sometimes life becomes hard for no good reason.
Kati tudde ku audio ya Madam Julie nga abalala ba exiting.
Kati we Madam Julie we yangamba nti abamu ba reapplying kwe kukubira this lady ne mugamba madam omanye ekituuseewo nkubidde Madam Julie angambye 8 of us to reapply nga kyokka batugamba tetuyina nagamba no you had to reapply kati ng'agamba nze on a personal level nti wadde babagamba bwe batyo that was a trick you had to reapply naye kyengenda okukola as a personal favor kati bizze na mu personal nanga kyengenda okukola ngenda kugamba omwami kati ali mu even right now achali mu human resource yali amudiridde namugamba he still has tuchina CVs ama documents zamwe ku gundi ku we still have your files ku database. So ngenda mugamba because he's a personal friend or no mchala yangamba he's a personal friend to me. Ngenda mugamba ajikutereyo, then you will go for interviews. Then
you've learned how to play the dirty games. You need to be a pastor with Vodeko.
When opportunity strikes, ugenda. But
now we know
two
can play that game.
Kati out of the civility of my heart and out of the ethics, just to be an ethical person, because really sikwewa nova thingi kwe kubira ngoma, but I'm somewhat an ethical person. Era na mugamba chimu madam ne anzeza. Like it's like somebody giving you choyagala on a silver platter. Na ye against kugamanga
chebaita mu Bible twagamanga manna from heaven.
Exactly. Nainga it was she put me in the spot jabagamba finding yourself at crossroads. Oba
amasanganzira.
Exactly. So I was torn between a hard place and a rock. Nga either you can accept the offer, but that offer was nalaba beyond. I looked sala bila wano na looking beyond. Na that offer mbagitekinga nali sina wengenda kunyonyola bannange bano abasatu because nze nali wakuna nali sina wensola bannyonyola nti nze sa applying na iba bajintereddeyo.
A divine form came from Mutundwe unto your person.
Nali sina wensola ba kati out of my conscience ngomuntu nengamba neyanziza ompoze banja, but nsaba I won't take the offer because I chose to stick with my team. Obatuli bana, obatuli babidi, obatuli I chose to stick with my team. But you never know. Maybe mukama yali anziridde nga nze ngenda yitirawo.
Did you reapply?
I didn't, my dear.
Why didn't you? They told you to reapply.
No, they didn't tell us. Wala batwatula mu meeting ne madam.
Ate abalala bambuuza ne bagamba mu reapply. Ngete babagamba.
Tebatugamba.
Abo bonna abawala bambuuza ne bagamba you reapply. Tell all your colleagues.
They didn't tell us. Kati olabe kyaleeta the confusion. Twatula mu meeting ne Madam Julie ne Mr. Sebowa. Ne babeera very specific ne batugamba you can only reapply if the position ejjanga eri re-advertised. Era nejjanga eri simply advertised. We shared yali advertise, sorry, not re-advertise. Netuji sharinga, netuji kubyaganyako nebirowoozo mu group, netugamba guys should we apply, ne batugamba, fena netu salawo as a group we agreed that batugamba if it has been re-advertised, that is only when we can re-advertise. Fena netu salawo as a team titewali aba
kati
they went because Martha waye yakubide
Madam Julie wenyini yankubira
namugamba Martha yenyini yakubira ati no naye kenyini te reapplying. Anyway, I'm not sure. Naye Madam Julie yagamba nti 8 of us reapplied. Kati it's only 4 people that are reapplying and we have even failed to get to know who applied and who didn't. Okay, we know some 4 that surely applied, but the other 4 tetubamanyi, but everywhere all the other 8 wagamba tebari applying.
Kati awo mwemwegira. Okay, okay, kade yes. It's not a blame game. Yes. Naye you still have a chance. Okay. Kati gamba chomugisho ayogereni Johnson, Bamita Johnson Mugume, you even know him wakola nabo interview. You know him mwami mutoro.
Yaliko nemu interviews. Yeah, I remember some Johnson guy. I remember him
sitting in. Yes.
Are you serious?
He is the one. If you talk to him nicely, I don't know how he will do it because these things are audited.
Okay.
And I know kubanga apply in say how electronic.
Okay.
Yali muku shortlistinga.
Okay.
Once everything is done and COVID is gone, because people were supposed to train you, but yali mu COVID, everyone is still locked up.
That's true.
But the best thing. So ko yegere necho mujisha.
Okay.
Ate kati genda wekka.
Yeah, chitufu.
Kubanga I can't tell you to all bobad that avenue.
That's true.
Chomgisha na ebija mulema.
That's true.
Chitufu. Bija mulema. Kati if you are among those who didn't reapply.
Yes.
Kati ebesigaddeyo basatu. At least kanwanireko naawe. Olabe Johnson kyakugamba.
Okay.
Oba si kyekyo osobola wali ku waiting list all is kind of justified naye simanyi oba binaakola simanyi.
We just need to talk to him, but then on sharing contact ye mukubireko.
because I don't have
where Johnson or Achom?
Achom, I have her number. I even talk to her. Why these days she's rare on WhatsApp, but we talk on WhatsApp. Naye Mr. Johnson gwesta ina number.
Kale. Naye ndishuwa akumanyi. Kubambadde njagala oyite mu muntu gw'amanyi.
No, anti kati era ngenda kuyita mugondi. I'm first going to talk to Annette. Then
Wachitagikuwa.
Does she have it? Okay, let me talk to her.
Okay. If you don't get it from Annette, that's when you call me back.
Okay.
Kati then omugambe bulungi, I got the number from Annette.
From Annette, yeah.
Kubanga ye ajagamba kati ate abantu ate kati ampereza abantu. Yes.
Okay, let me talk to Annette.
Then he's the one shortlisting.
Oh, okay. Kale, my dear, thank you so much.
Yeah, anengamba nedda. So I declined the offer. Kazi watuna teyampushinga ekyo ne kiggwa. Kati bano okozayiri we batugamba nti omunana bagize omunana ne bagenda. Kati we bagenda mpola muzi left. Then ate kiralere kyabalabisa ne tumanya kati who they are. The 8 of them ne bagenda mu interviews. Kati olonga batansene interviews. Excuse me. The 8 of them went for the interviews. 6 were dropped. They didn't make it in the interviews. They applied, ne baba shortlisting yes, ne baba suula. Because by that time ne qualifications bali bazi wanvuyiza, bali basaba bachelors, and before the initial advertisement ya 2018 bali basaba high school because international standards olaba ne Emirates ne Etihad zisaba senior 6. Then Uganda Airlines cutting saba bachelors. Kati feva basajja baffe nganze personally ngakazi je ndinga nedda kati nga nyina okulwana nsigale kweri initial je nayitawo kubanga te wano babikalubiza no bikalubiza.
Kati bwaba akugana talina application yo nze nyiza okuyambako just use talon ne nkuyambako paka ministry tufuna eryenkadde kubanga era it still works.
Okay.
It still works. You apply for the job and you're on the waiting list.
That's true.
Yes, and you have a degree, right?
I don't, my dear. Actually, reapplying because this time the qualifications were higher. I think that's the meeting. But the first time I think there was
the first time
it was just favor and no point I had traveled all those visas and all that. No, mukama just like
mukama, you are able. That's your personality.
True, so I know personality wise this is for me.
It's for you. Can't you try that channel?
Okay.
Already I teach at degree nange chimaze muko. Don't lose hope so much. Don't lose hope so much because
so nga omukaga baba dropping ababiri nga ba ne sawa yakakati bakola, and of which kwaba babiri is the lady gwe bakolera a farewell party eyali mu DTB. Then the other lady is Miss Uganda in 2016 gwe nabagambira ne kati currently as I speak she's coming. Tumulaba mu states tumulaba eyo Dubai bagenze mu
nange senga ndi wali but such is life.
Yes,
the irony of life.
Yes, mukama bo ayitira waawo fe etasobola kati bringing back at the frustration. So we wamalo tukola akakodyo ne tumanya nti kati bakikoze deliberately bavudde mu biri ebyotusuubiza ebitajja naye kati batukoze bakaita batukubye as in they kicked us out but in a technical way. Tebayagala tu batega akatego ne tukagwamu ne tufuluma kati out of the frustration nengamba kati nze ngenda kola kimusajja watu nengamba omanyifu abantu people who have been to Dubai before or anywhere in the world kangambe. Not only Dubai, but to Germany and Kuba. That's why I talk about Dubai. Me have only been to the United Arab Emirates. But every time life gets hard here in Uganda, Ogamba bana ibangova, kanzire mbawala bubange. So evanga fallback position. Na some of us like myself, I love Uganda so much. I love Uganda so put it anga. Chinyega nyonga ndieri naye nga ate sente ziri eri so nga nyino kolako nzijengezeeko naye katuwogezaako wano sente obutaddewo here and there ne bufa ekiddako kyoba olina okola olina okwerekeramu za visa ezo zoto zikwatako
sawa zino zina
kati nasalawo
so out of
kati nasalawo
frustration
nengambe kijja sijagenda kati zonna newodda ku square one eza visa zino kwanga weziri zikutwalo. So I left the country. I remember the lockdown was lifted on 1st October 2020. Date you see so because it was a big thing. COVID messed the world. Lockdown nebaji lifting on 1st October. I went exactly 2 days from that first because I boarded on the 15th of October. Nenzira Dubai. That is when I go to Dubai, not Abu Dhabi generally before. I go to Dubai, nemfuna go mulimo gwa hydroponics. What
is hydroponics?
Hydroponics is advanced farming.
When you said hydroponics, I was getting a little bit jittery. That word of po goes the other side. What is hydroponics?
Hydroponics is advanced farming. What happens? We were growers. In the technical farms, hydroponics, we were a grower, but in the layman's language, we were a farmer. A farmer that cultivates. Kati wana in Uganda, you go to the garden, no sulamo, no lima, no teka mutaka, then God gives you the natural sunlight and the water, Dubai is a desert. They good soil, they only have sand, and then they don't have, their sun is extremely hot. Mpulira baji equating to the sun in Sudan. The people who have been to Sudan, but I've never been there. But their sun is extreme.
People depend. It's not too much. There are times when it is.
Yes. Kati Dubai, it's almost throughout the year. Because even in the summer times, baina summer in Dubai, na summer atari, baina summer ne winter. Baina winter, but not winter ne tonya omuziranga in the States or this in Europe. Yo, it's just extremely cold and only at night. But even in winter, Dubai, emisana waneweba winter, omusana guagala kusitula literally. So omusana munji, they cannot grow plants there. So what happens in hydroponics? We cultivate crops, but rather than the soil, we use water. That is the term hydro, water for water. Then rather than the sun, we use bulb lights, na ibuno kati ngazi nempanvu kati like that ring light bo no fluorescent lights nenga buli mu colors purple bichi tezibera only one color anti bright white bubera mu colors. Yes. So that's what I used to do. I was getting good money. I would say, I can even quote it, I was getting 3 million Ugandan shillings, which is 3,000 UAE dirhams. Na mfuna millions zange satu. I had a good life. Nengula na kamotoka ka Ford Focus Dubai ngaka kujoga kuntwala ku mulimu na kukoma waka si kati mu kwano gwango ono gwe nkujikizo oli owa gwena sharing na ye
Mr. D.
Yes, Mr. D. Na Mr. D ngamba stalo mwana nyweza gwe wachikuba oli eyo kati ngabane gombesa na ye. You think I was happy? I wasn't happy. I was living in depression. Nganze things felt good ngampaka ne motoka yanga okumulimu. I was working in a supermarket because ezo farms ezo zetukolera mu baziteka ku hotels ne supermarkets.
From farm to
exactly farm fresh nga kuliko ne farm fresh kijja wali ate okolera na mu glass ne ba clients abazungu nga nabo bajja sebo ne ba ne bakola amala bamunga ba that one ngokajjayo ngao exactly no ka cleaning no kamua. So that's what I was doing. So atenga hydroponics tuambalanga basawo. We put on white pants, white tops, ne coating abasawo like the medical doctors. Ngakati bano ba attendants ba supermarket bakulaba ngo omuntu eya chikuba nganze wenatu ya cabin crew. Ngabanda
ba just like microponics.
Yeah, ngabanda bidaddala nti obana soma chinga baloza ndi genius obana soma computer science. Kumbe nze babinjigiriza.
On the job.
Baneuza nakuba naigwa bikolo chajuki I'm a black guy. So ngababisubira.
Are they very segregative you say?
No, I'm saying being a black guy, the reality of life, the white people by they have that superiority complex. For batulabanga batatekira bulungi abatalina bwongo kola bintu byakabi nnyo kati bakulabanga ye black guy doing things nabo benyine bibalobya bagambo so much.
Did you personally an expertise mweno hydroponics mtino osobola okutandika project no running?
Yes, I did.
If the funds are there.
Yes, I did, but it's very important too. The key word here is if the funds are here. The reason as to why I cannot even dare dream about starting anything here in Uganda of that sort is because the capital to start is way outrageous versus the traditional alternative. So we have the soil. What would make you ship those machines? Because we call it machines. We do a lot of machines. Never take you know the PhD. The pH, the alkalinity and what is it? Alkalinity and what? pH. What is alkalinity and acidity? Thank you, sweetheart. The alkalinity and acidity of the soil. No, I call every lady.
No, I didn't know that there was a voice coming out of there.
Hey, I had it.
I was like,
I think if it was a guy, no, and you get there, Sandy will do. But she said it so softly, but I had it. That's the strength of a woman.
Today, airline.
Anyway, back to the airline. So, I was working in Dubai, and I have a car, I have a good job. Deep down in my heart, I was depressed. I even go to bed and sometimes to make matters worse. This friend of ours, a friend of ours, they called it a municipal council. By the time we were in Entebbe waiting for the job, he was working for the Entebbe Municipal Council as a councillor, youth councillor. So by virtue of his contacts in the municipality, Entebbe municipality, yali friends with the then mayor Entebbe, where you go by Nyamayaro. It's called Nyamayaro. You go a clashing in Fabrice, Atali Fabrice, but the other one, and both of them are NRM. So this guy had a boys' quarter, just a single room. Ko makaga the mayor. Kati when they push us out, Jokira yali atwesi misai, he's our friend. Tutambula na he tells everybody you will find on the road. Ngamwe mukolera munyonyi ngati unawa nagenda yo. Kati oba tugoba na tugamba mulete ebintu byamwe mubiteeke wano mukaroom cafe. Mu karoom kange. Mazongo tozaffe 6x6 spring mattress tezaga na kuita mulujji. Nainga tuino oteeka mune tubiyimiriza ne tukola ki because it was the only option we had. Waitameka nga tetubitunze. Tubitunze. The same people abakuguze kitanda 1.1 ne omufaliso gwako mtwalo nga nsanvu almost oli mu 2 million bagala kuwa less than $1 million shillings. Ate nga nze bebinyiza ne ngamba mmwe mwennyini ababi nguzane wagamnaye that's the market price. That's the
you used the mazongo to depreciate. What are you talking about?
I think just 3 months.
But you were using it.
Yes, I was using it. Naye nenga choina cha chikutasa atenga chena ine chinene chagenda katate ne chino chenafunamu ekitono nacho ne nchitunda. So I went back to square one. Lwakwache chiche nagambe naleka mwaka nzize Dubai naleka mwaka visa era mukutunda wano nganze ntunda vuna visa kuyitamu. Era when I went I told to myself mukama stress ya Uganda Airlines njirese Uganda ngenze nzize Dubai, please give me a good job. I will work and life will move on. Indeed, by God's grace, I got the good job, but life didn't move on. I was depressed, reaching and sigala. I have this longing. Kati, this is where now kati tulize kuchinyusicha the entire story. Tutandika okurana kati twechawa. We go into this mode ya a desperate man. Yewagambe, a man who has nothing to lose. A man who has nothing to lose. A desperate man who akole icho na. Nitugamba kati tukole ki okulaba nga tufuna justice batukoze bubi nnyo nga tugamba manche tugenda okola nti olwo jukira timu yavudde mu team 12 tuli mu team 4 bali bavaamu tukoze n'endala bana tukoze team ne tukola team
matuka the four musketeers
the four musketeers kati nga an idea crosses our mind we decide to send an intent to sue the airlines.
The four of you?
The four of us.
Why?
Why? That's a good question. Our intention was not to sue the airlines. Because we were more invested in working for the airlines than having any bad energy with it.
Squabbles with it.
Yes. Naye, katinga twagala kakozesanga reverse psychology tubasindikire intent to sue bakubagane in like let me use the kubagana akatengo kabayitemu batuyite bagambe ye kyennyonyi zaffe weziri abana batambula mubayite mubawe ngatu I even appended my signature because saliwo like you know how they do it nagitekako but not I didn't sign physically so we send an intent to sue ngatufuna lawyer ali eyo ntebe ne mwerabidde and I wanted to mwerabidde bamuita mark and something ayina chambers ze ntebe.
But you've got a copy of the intent to sue letter.
Yes, I can retrieve it.
Okay.
Kati nga tufuna lawyer nga tumugamba omanyi twagala otuyambe fe tugenda kusindika intent to sue fe twagala just tubakange mba kubagane batuyite tusetolinge batuwe emirimu batuwe ne compensation kubanga bino byonna bye twaluzinga natunde ettaka lyange sente rent twasasula wabwerere ebitanda byange nabitunze nga twagala batuwe emirimu batukompensating ne tukompensate.
Okay, Kakati, congratulations.
Thanks.
Kati, ekibaddewo, we were planning on suing the airline because we want to be compensated. And we are personally, I'm very happy for you because you made it that side. But the problem is, you are part of our evidence because these people told us not to reapply. They told us not to reapply, and that's what we did. And we have screenshots of you also saying that there is a part where you say Seboa and Julie, you know, you have their names in that text. You saying they told us not to reapply. However, in the personal, I wouldn't want to drag you into this because you've made it to that level. Chetaga we fight as we and not include you anywhere. However, that will depend on, you know, Singatu Kwatagana, because we've been looking through the charts, you know, we all thought we did what they told us to do, not to reapply. You had reapplied and you were in us and you were actually also complaining. Can you imagine? That's what hurts us. Katia, we were thinking you still have that audio. We wanted you to give us that audio. And we...
I don't have it. You guys think I was lying to you? I don't have that. I think I was lying to you.
Auntie Mina, when we go through the charts, you know, it just took it. Like, it was just...
I really don't have that audio. Come get look from my phone. I actually even didn't reapply. You can go on phone.
Okay.
I can't even now get involved in that jazz again.
Yeah, that is... Kali.
It just happened for me that they called me for the interview.
Hey.
I wouldn't like you guys, yeah. I did.
Kali.
I didn't reapply. I just got lucky like that.
Kali.
Yeah. I'll probably consider. Reconsider.
Okay.
Yeah. But I don't know what happened, but they said this interview. So,
Kati, for the agreement we had with the lawyer, tugenda kuwa 15% of what we realize. You can truly do a cent. Yes, me, I maybe I could raise some money since I was already there. By that time, I listened to this job because my queue, people about Dubai, my into the hustle is real. The first time I went to Dubai, when I did cab driving, I went on unemployment visa through these labor exploitation agencies. But there's a contract they take you in companies and terms and conditions of work. So this time, since Naliyo, nina exposure na ngamba ani adamu agency, I booked myself a visit visa. Kati chebayito okubera ku visit visa no omulimu no guyiriba. You go for bazita batya walk-ins. Bano bagamba hey waliyo walk-in waliyo so ogenda nga otomera tuwero ndambonzo nyagala bweguti era nange I got the hydroponics through a friend nesigamba mbu nagenda gwenjagala kwa nali sigumanyi na gumanyira we yangamba nze nyina company je nkolera bakola bwe batunga sibiwuliranga ko naye nengenda ne bampa omulimu. So in that time nali sinafuna mulimu namali 6 months nga sirina mulimu nga I'm just renewing one visa after the other, but by God's grace nga mukama in the third month nga ntuka mu third month ya visa okugwako nga mukama ampe ekichuba cha 1 month cha kuvuga because I had my license nga mvugayo 1 month simanyi driver yagenze mu vacation nenfuna ate zero renewing then era ebegwako mukama nampe ekichuba simanyi baina 1 month yagenze era mu vacation paka we nafuna hydroponics. So by that time nange we twasuuyingira nange kenyine saina sente mbo watu niwe yandwa de 1 million mbo tumugambe let's pay you off 1 million
yakola pro bono.
Exactly. 15% of what we realize mama twata nikokube simu loya ofete tumulaba mbuza bali ko ground mugende ku chambers omusajja mu munoni omusajja tabeerayo ate lwaki temukuba esimu tazikwata
but prior nga mu
kwata
n'okwogera n'ayogera buli kimu kye mwogera n'anootinga
natugamba notugamba we have a case because we presented all nga wenkugambye
industrial court will manage you
nagamba waliwo kye netumugamba naye kati obuzibu tetulina because Makio before nga Mr. Morea Conwell yakyali the CEO somehow somewhere I got his number ne mukubira naye njagala omuyitiramu atuyambe yambuza kimu do you have an appointment letter with us? No, we don't. Did you sign the contract? No, you know we were supposed to sign on the 23rd but we met on the 17th. I'm sorry, I cannot have this conversation with you. Nanzi jako ngamba msajja ngali kaza
you had the balls.
Yeah, me I'm a very bold guy.
From the HR
yes.
You go to the CEO who you had never met prior. Yes. And you are selling to him your predicament over the cabin crew job that you've been waiting for the long haul.
Exactly.
By
God's grace, me, I'm a bold person. I know our president. I look for the president, but anyway, we are getting there. But I've looked for the president. I've looked for General Salim Saleh. I've talked to General Katumba Amal. I've talked to Honorable Balam. I've looked for the IGG. We have turned Uganda upside down.
So take us through the journey turning Uganda upside down.
Exactly.
For those personalities. Now you've talked about the former CEO Muleya.
Yes.
Let's.
So going forward, when the CEO, the previous CEO Wataya Mane Tugamba, kasa we reached out na yike nyini nagano tuyamba musuwinge tusuwinze lawyer tumunonyako titukyamulaba. We made the conclusion. Oyo yalidde baleka bamujjemu fete tulina sente tumusuubiza bali bamuwadde
okuva ku chips and simanywa kati ali mu steak rare steak
bali bamuwadde ne tugamba okay kakonako kafu nembere Dubai eyo nga bintabuseeko ndi mu depression zange and some other colleagues of mine abali wano same story nga life was bad. Ati long story short, when I was in Dubai, we hear of some gentleman, it's called Job Matua. And then, of course, from our circles, because we tried our best, we tried, even prior to getting Mr. Matua, we tried to reach out we tried petitioning the parliament when the Right Honorable Rebecca Kadaga was still the speaker. Because one of this lady, one of the team people was a Musoga. Netu katinga we want to pull those strings. Netugezako kunonya speaker na atubula. Echo netusoka netuchiteka wabali. Kati when I was in Dubai, we get in touch with some gentleman. He's called Job Matua from the circles because we were disparate and now looking because we got so disparate to a point that we thought of looking for Bebe Cool, looking for people like Full Figure. Ngabuli gwetuwulira yagenzeke wa president tugambo yo yemuntu wafe especially bano betula banti maybe balinga mu entertainment because I know where Bebe Cool stays in Chiwatu. Bebe Cool I grew up a very very ardent supporter of Gargamel. I used to be in the Gargamel family.
Hey.
So yeah.
So you know Richard Kleberson.
Kleberson is my guy. I have his number.
Matovu Iga.
This guy who died Shortcut those guys used to be my boys. So nengamba, hey, can go to Bebe. Beba manyi bulungi nnyo asobola okuntwala.
Ne Cobra akumanyi.
Nga njagende wa bebe. Walayi bebe ajja kuntwala ewa jjajja. But of course I was in Dubai nengamba we nakomawo tulina omunoonya. Kati before getting bebe ne full figure we hear of a gentleman called Matua. Etuwulira mbu ye yali whistleblower wa NSSF. He caused a lot of storm in the NSSF. Abantu ne babakwata ne babagoba ne gamba ono ye mutuufu otuyamba. Tunoonyeze namba ye tugifunye njogedde naye. Olaba I was even out of the country. You told me I had a lot of balls to talk to the CEO. I was even out of the country. But me, I'm raised at I don't know, that is how I grew up. Me, I know if I'm not doing anything wrong, I'm not breaking the law, I'm trying to seek justice, then why would I be intimidated to speak to anyone, be it even the president? So I was even out of the country, but even when they get those such numbers, but I call to the extent at a time, Uganda Airlines got to the people at Uganda Airlines got to a point of saying we have a sense of entitlement. At 10 bagamba the two of us mulimu abantu babiri out of the 12 are very big-headed. Kati one of the big-headed people was me and this lady, the Miss Eastern, because she was my go-to nga fe twezira kimu kuwulira nti ono asobola otuyamba nga tujja munoonya ne wana abaani tumufune. Kati the constant push and the zeal and the passion, people misinterpreted it for sense of entitlement and being
big-headedness.
Yes. So I talked to Mr. Matua, I explained my situation to him, and he's like, you're talking to the right person, I'm going to help you. Nempulira dengamba designing hydroponics kencha. I'm going to help you. Now tuyamba bambi, he reached out to the CEO, Madam Jennifer, because he even took screenshots nazindaga ngayogera na
Which Jennifer?
Madam Jennifer, the current CEO, although Mr. Morea bamupushinze out.
There could be like 100 Jennifers.
No, Miss Jennifer Bamuturachi, the current CEO, Uganda Airlines. Makio, Mr. Andereya, I did not tell you of Mr. Andereya's fate. The first time that Uganda Airlines...
The Andereya you met with the other sweet lady.
Yes, with the sweet lady. The Andereya we met, the first time Uganda Airlines was in the news for the bad reasons was at some rally. His Excellency, the President, was speaking. Nagamba, we quoted and we have videos because katuyamba ko tukatereka. Nagamba, I revived my airline and people are giving friends and relatives and girlfriends and sweethearts jobs. Netugamba omukulu ali ku nsonga yaffe yennyini. Yagitegedde. This is the time to fight. Nga twezirawulira kintu ng'ekyo nga tugamba let's push harder. Kati nga njogera ne Mr. Matua nga reaching out to Madam Bamuturachi nga Madam amugamba in a screenshot, I know about that team because right waiter team 12. I know about that team, but it's their situation is a complicated one. Kati nga the first time we twawulira ekigambo kutufera we were conned. Twali tumanyi nti fe batufera.
Ngani akikozesa?
In the conversation, Matua ne Madam Bamuturachi, nagamba nti fe we belong to the team je bafera. The
So
team
she
that was,
had information
she had information
of the team 12.
Na ye nti batufera. Kati fe ne twebuuza ne tugamba abantu be baali bafeze. Like in omuntu gwe bafera, ye muntu gwe bajjeko sente in false pretense, ye muntu oba gwe agenze mu bino kafuna tekafuna ne bakuba sente ze. We did not go indulge ourselves in any of that business. We simply went to a legit website, followed a legit advertisement, applied. We were shortlisted and called for interviews. They really legit. We went through all those series of interviews. Nga tetulina nagwe tukubidde simu nti tuyambe oba tukuwe sente oba even the girls. I don't want to speak on their behalf, but I'm quite sure to some extent they did not sleep with anyone.
Here you're using the word Jebafera.
Yes.
In our prior discussion, there is where you said that there was a job that would be re-advertised, then advertised,
yes.
Which meant that if it was being advertised or re-advertised,
exactly.
Then you might have been employed.
Exactly.
like in a pseudo system. Do you want me to believe that there was a syndicated cartel in the Uganda Airlines that was running such scams?
I want to make myself believe so, because I don't have proof towards those allegations. But if you follow my story, exactly, that was things of that sort were indeed happening behind the curtains. So, like the Muganda says, nti omukadde w'okukyalo olwafudde embwayo olwesesema enviiri enjeru. So you will automatically conclude that it's that dog that ate that mukadde w'okukyalo.
So enter now.
Yes.
The Baba group erije bafera.
Yes. Ati then Matua was like ati ogenda tuyamba otya batugamba batufera na if we dealt with legit people which don't worry my brother, I'm going to follow it up. Chagwerao, I never heard from him again. Mr. Matua, but Simonenya, he had come on board to help as a stranger. He's not even part of, he's not even an employee in Uganda Airlines. So, Tetuamulemera konya ate Simonenya. At least he reached out. He showed me screenshots of his conversation with Madam Jennifer. Because Yangamba, I know her personally. I've met her so many times. I'm going to speak to her, and indeed, he spoke to her. First track to 2023, I leave Dubai. The hydroponics thing, I love Uganda. I feel like I belong here. So I bring my brother on board. He takes my job in the company and all that. I train him. So I come back to Uganda. Meeting about bagayi tunyize pesa ki eriddako. Kati
the four gangos.
Yes, the four musketeers. Netugamba, let us not settle until at least let us meet the head of state. Tulabe asobola tuyamba ye wanatugamba biveeko nga tubivaako naye before turning every single stone tetujazikiza kati nga tuzzeemu buto tunoonya ne tugamba tugenze wa IGG. By that time it was Miss Betty Kamya. She has our file. We took a file to her office.
The office has the file. She has since left that office.
Now nothing happened even when she was there. Nothing happened. They tried to say we are going to summon them to get Kojira. Nothing happened. Uganda yafe. Then same time we were at the IGG's office. We went to Kosase. We reached out to Kosase. By that time it was headed by Honorable Joel Senyoni. We reached out to him, told him our story. He simply told us, okay, but what happens, you cannot run these things concurrently. You cannot be in the IGG's office and then Kosase as well. So you first...
That is personally Joel Senyoni telling you people.
Joel Senyoni. You first push through with the IGG. You see if she helps, her office helps, then maybe we can get to that. Okay. Then we got a thought of reaching out to the Honorable Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, who is Honorable Mao. But then, because his office is almost close to where the IGG's office is, the offices really almost close to each other and still close to the parliament. Newa Honorable Mao, but that was a thought that we never really went through with. Actually, personally, in fact, I'm one of the two big heads. I used to be a champion in the struggle. Ngangenda mbitekamu engatto netuukira bagamba omuganda agamba
job hunting foot soldier
yetuukidde tanywa matabangufu nga ntuuka. So I even went to the office of the justice office. Nengenda, I only got to the reception. Nembuuza what is the protocols of having a meeting with the minister. Nebangamba you have to write a petition to him okole boti ne boti. Wenavaayo netugamba ekyo netukireka. Then netugezaako reaching out to the speaker kati aliko naye nacho we didn't move through with it. Then there is a time we reached out to the PS, the permanent secretary of the Ministry of Works. Juke we twakolera interviews Mr. Waiswa Bambi, he was very, he's a dad. Natuaniriza na uliza story yafe natuandikira kachi. PS1 Ministry of Works and Transport. Mr. Waiso Abajira. Natuandikira kachi to a lady called Jane. Kati Jane in this context is the PA wa Madam Jennifer. PA like personal assistant. Nawandikira Miss Jane. Please handle these guys. Yeah. Nitugende ntebe ngoinzo gambo baba
wadde blank
ngoinzo gamba tuwadde kano ka escort car
bajita lead car.
Yes, ka lead car nga tumanyi nti tugenda tulina ka cheat cafe
Miss Jane handle
this nitugenda.
But did you know that did you peruse through the contents of what was written therein?
It was simply a cheat. Nga wona use a cheat kukano. The only content was please handle their matter. It wasn't like a latent other information. It was simply a cheat.
Less than 10 words.
Yes, less than 10 words. Nainga
at
like the court, he signed
off.
Yes, he signed off with his name. So ngatu
which name is that?
Mr. Waiso Abajira. PS. Yeah, netugamba tuze. Netugenda netujira. The best they did ne batutuza mu boardroom. Same boardroom now. This is the third time. Twatulamu with the first two individuals, tutudemu with the second.
The memories of smelling the aviation air.
Boardroom eye tumani bulungi nnyo by name and by facial recognition. Tuzemu the same boardroom. Tutudde n'omukyala Miss Jane. Atugambe, you know, you guys. PA. Yes, the PA. You know, you guys kati by luck ne CEO kenyini najja n'ayogera naffe, Madam Jennifer. Agamba, you guys. We heard about your story. We are so sorry, but we are trying. Katinga byetu udira byetu agalo. Ngayogeranga mama. She's a sweet lady by the way. She's a sweet lady. Ayogeranga mama netugamba ha kati wetutuse wo mukulu kenyini. Chigenda kukolebwa.
You had started dusting your worries.
N'amasuti netugamba mutandiko gawe ula tujja. Kati we sit with her. Madam Jennifer natugamba tugenda gezaako kulaba how to help, but we will reach out and all that. Netugamba era kale watching batuwadde audience. Any simple we weren't doing all this, we weren't going through all these efforts in a sense of kwagala kurana, in a sense of entitlement, in a sense of no, because we know we are very small fish tetulina kyetusobola bakola ne webagala kukozesa maani nti temuyina kyemujja, but we were reaching out, seeking help. Nebunga baji misinterpreting. Kati fe chitu singa okwebuuza. Some of the qualities of any job seeking person would be the consistency and the determination and the passion. Kati bomo, instead of seeing this passion nebagana eba na abantu abalembedeko to this extent.
You are big-headed.
Yes.
You are wiseacres.
Wetubawa emirimu bagenda ku-performing to the fullest. Boba ate balaba the negative side of it.
Oba balowooza mujja kuva mu kabini mugende eri mu compartment cockpit.
Cockpit oba tuzevugire batu ningo naye kati when I come back, we reach out to the IGG to wali chat chakolebwa kusase na jote yasobola tuyamba then ngamba ne oroka tumbade wali nga tugenze wa PS atwadde ka cheat tugenze Madam Jennifer nagamba we are going to try and see how to help you guys. Natugamba wachire rabo bogede naffe ne tudda waitawe na kungazi zizo we are relentless tetuchivaako waitawe na kungazi zizo netuga ana today wa Mr. Waiso tulabe not wali vayo kati tugenze wa Mr. Waiso tetuna ugenda na mu office ye na Madam Jennifer. She was coming from your ministry manye ministry nene, the works and transport waba ina board meeting or something mulaba nga agenda ku motoka yayi na bagadzi babiri aba police abambala black nengamba enyanja ekutomira oba bankuba amasasi kasita amanham disina chengenze mukola nenziruka ku madala ne mugamba kangende mjoge naye. I come close bagadzi ne ba getting like they
wanted to protect
they wanted to protect to do their job nengabala ne bagamba sina buzibu na bagamba it's okay.
He's my guy. I've seen him before.
You know? Njagalira ddala naga let him through. I excuse myself I'm one of the team yali mu office recently. You told us awangambira, truth be told twagezezaako kulaba how to help you guys, but we cannot, like the guys ababa wemirimu kati for example ndereya yali agenda addamu eyo first saga president we yagamba nti bawa abantu abo emirimu bagoba there was a reshuffle and a couple of people in the management were sacked ndereya yagendera awo madam ono the sweet madam ng'akyalimu naye kati nga yava mu HR ali mu marketing
Madam S
Madam S
sweet
anyways so ng'agamba ekituufu kiri nti abakola the era tebakyaliwo tugezeza kukulaba engeri gye tubayamba tetuyina naye kye tugenda okukola kiri kimu we are going to advertise again kati this is the third advertisement jukira waliwo eri eyaffe gye baatuweerako ne wadde ne bamala ne batuggyako waliwo eno eyaddako gye baatugamba reapplying and if it's reapplied eyo naye tulese because we followed their instructions kati this is the third advertisement nagamba we are going to advertise soon but please apply mwenna we are going to give you priority netugamba bino byetwagala we even reached out to some of the initial ones abagira tugamba like bibaawo abamu maybe baali batidde abalala baali omulimu bagwagala nnyo to the extent gwaba blinding it blinded their logical thinking ne bagamba ffe katukole byaffe naye nze remember I got that opportunity ngeyange eri munna mu system bagenda kujja eyange bateeke wali naye nze I thought straight ne ngamba nedda bannange n'abatunula atya mu maaso mbagambe nange naliko nenjireka so nagamba mu applying tugenda bawa priority we did and nothing happened what happens with airlines Emirates and Etihad nachi when you apply woba like in the qualifications and the skills bakuddamu which we call a courtesy actually the times we twagenda ngenyo ko Uganda Airlines twagiyitanga courtesy visit we have come for a courtesy visit kati waliwo kye bayita a courtesy email they write back to you bagamba we are sorry unfortunately we won't be pushing we won't be pushing through with your application this time but please feel free to apply because every other time bote batuddamu yadde n'akagambo n'akamu we never had from them again yatugamba madam Jennifer kenyini nga ye yatugamba ne biddawo this is when around the time Honorable Balam takes office
Barugahara
yes I was even in Ntungamo manyi kati ennaku zino siva Ntungamo nyagalayo nnyo even tonight I'm traveling I have to go vote and I'm a voter from that side so he takes office mbandi awo ndaba bugundirwe interviews omanyi nze ndi nnyo muntu wa YouTube I love YouTube interviews nziraba nnyo ndaba interview mpulira agamba office yange tokola appointment you just come natuwana ennaku lunora abakyala lunora aba youth lunora aba Tuesday comes nga ntekamu esuuti yange ngenda ku office yawo nga ku CPS mbanyingira bwenta 7 sharp ndi mu masuuti gange with the tie and all that very smart he was also coming in with his convoy era ne mubuuzaako awo ku entrance nali nsayininga ye ayitawo buyisi but I showed face nga njagala mulaga honorable good morning nanziramu bulungi nnyo n'agenda ne ngamba kati awo ngenda mu office andabye nako I was just breaking the ice ntuuka mu office my turn comes waliwo of course other people but my turn comes okay what's your name so and so what is your issue ngamba I have an issue with Uganda Airlines you know what happened nemubulya the story nga narrating nze agamba kati nawuliriza he was quiet he listened to me nangamba okay so how can I be of help nemugamba you know honorable mbadde nsaba you lead me jukira ndaba gundi bino I follow current affairs manyi nti no he has been made a minister it is around the time the MK movement nga tena nafuuka PLU it was still a movement naye nga ndaba he's close to in the
powers that
the MK and mugamba nsaba tubadde tusaba tulidinga wa CDF nalinga gwenvumye nalinga gwenvumye nangamba you think the CDF is a big man You think he can involve himself in stupid matters like this?
That is the word he used?
Yes, in stupid matters like this. I quote. Nalinga gwe bayeko manyingo okoledde olinga ka hot plate ne bakuyiwako amazzi agalimu ne ka ice. Ninga musajja amasuuti gange nagenkubye ne ka kotasi hai ke namuwadde wali wansi anjiye asazeewo kunjiwako mazzi bwatyo. Nagamba he can't. But regardless of how he talked like that, because it wasn't really nice, but maybe he was having a bad day or he had a lot. So you never know. Because truth be told, if I was in his office, remember, he's the youth minister. I went to him as a youth.
With an issue?
Yes, with an issue that would have listened to me and, hey, because if we are talking about unemployment in Uganda, and the youth like myself are trying to come up, and okola chiri chenagambye Ismail access omugenzi mukama mumuze mirembe kyagamba tuwanise omukono tetwetuddeko because I have so many friends. When the other friend of mine weyampa ka advert ako, I sent it to my other friends around, but many of them they didn't even apply. Nga omanye issue gye bali bagamba mbwe bye Uganda bwe bityo tesobola kola mu Uganda
already babalira n'abantu baabwe
ngatoyina gwomanyi already babira n'abantu baabwe just bya formality. So totawana na buddebo nze nengamba why you try and fail but never fail to try. I did try and indeed I got through. So nengamba honorable wa youth yani nyanda ate and trashinze bwati nengamba ize but you know, I give credit where it's due. Che yatuyambako era chena the only positive side of my encounter with Honorable Bala was one. He called the CEO, Madam Jennifer, because of course she has these numbers on speed dial. But in Musako Yabanene, I would say, Simuwi, but all
he's
of them
a frequent flyer now. He's a minister.
The other is the CEO of the airline. They have powerful offices, so of course, birds of the same feather flock together, so they know each other. So he tries to call the Madam Jennifer. She was out of the country. The phone was hanging. I forgot she's out of the country. I talked to her. I was with her recently. She's out of the country. Then he calls General Katumba Wamala on phone, on loudspeaker. And he starts saying,
Ori yete yali ku loudspeaker.
Ori, no, even Ori yali ku loudspeaker. Then the general yali ku loudspeaker. Iranga muwulira nakwata naga yes. Wamita Balamu, wamita the other name. Kati ono namgamba, hey mukulu wange. Ugamba otyana, they first exchanged greetings. Namgamba, so I'm here with a young gentleman in my office. Angamba nti he has an employment issue with Uganda Airlines. Kati namgamba, he has an employment issue with Uganda Airlines since 2019. Kati this was 2023, just of recent. Kati nga I could over since it was in loudspeaker na limpulira General byayogera. General nagamba, what have they been doing since 2019? It was his question. Jukira he's on loudspeaker. Kati since he's on loudspeaker and he's asking me a direct question, because it's only me who could explain what we have been doing.
Honorable Bala.
Exactly. And since he asked a direct question, I was giving a direct answer.
Newe tumikiriza noddamu ekibuzo kibabuziza.
But indeed the question was to me.
Hey.
Yes.
Whose phone were they using?
His phone.
And you were answering as who?
As the person affected.
God bless you. Tugende mu maaso.
Kati nange netumikiriza nga ogambye njagala okuddamu ekibuuzo. Little did I know, maybe I was making a mistake. Nadamu buto. Oh! Nagamba, listen! He shouted. He was like, listen! That is the problem with you young people. You never want to listen. He's talking and you're speaking back. But I thought...
He had asked a question that needed an answer. You had failed to answer.
Yeah.
So me as the owner of the phone in loudspeaker, he retorted.
Mama, I'm going for a meeting. I think it was a Monday or Tuesday. They had a cabinet meeting. Mama, I'm going for the meeting. So kati the general nemanya nti general yasigaza the question what have we been doing question siji answering nze eriawo hanginga but indeed now kati a person like me between me and you now you know what we were doing since 2019.
So that Ministry of Gender office,
yes,
that is allocated to Honorable Balam.
Yes,
you were still in his cohorts. Yes. Did you remain? What went wrong there?
Did I remain? He dismissed me.
After the phone call?
Yeah, after the call.
What did he say?
No, he simply gave me one piece of advice. He told me, if you have an issue with Uganda Airlines, they gave you jobs and you didn't work, simply go to the industrial court. As simple as that. He even gave me directions because I didn't know where the industrial court was. Nangamba, it's somewhere in Ntinda. You go to the industrial court, I have a meeting. Nafuluma was the last person he handled.
And was that the last person you talked to about this issue?
Oh, Sikiriza. I even looked for the head of state. He was the last person I could talk to. Because beyond him, I could only talk to God.
But, who are the others?
But I'm constantly talking to God.
Head of state.
So, since I was in Honorable Balam trying to get to the CDF, when he cut me off and he told me it's a stupid matter that the CDF court, that the CDF cannot handle, but to me it was not a stupid matter. Era nagamba ize nze njamunonya. So ningamba, that is when I was like trying to trace back my father's roots
in the
but my
struggle.
Father was he's a Murani. I'm a son to a Murani. And the current head of state is also a Murani.
And he was
but if I connect the dots, Murani. Then ninga katingenda ku nonya head of state. Kaningamba, where is but of course the head of state are very busy. Nange I could, that is, you don't need to be a rocket scientist to understand that. Nemanyanti, he's a busy guy, so maybe simwangu. Who is his proxy? A person ne oba tolabyo onongo olabyo omuntu oyo asobola okukola yechi yandi koze. Nengamba ate General Salim Salatu buzeewo. Ne tugamba mpulira abeera nnyo eggulu n'ekapeeka. Njamuso ameekapeeka. But I did not go before going to Kapeka nengamba naye. Cut through our circles netugezaako netufuna his permanent secretary in the office, Madam Rosaline. I even have her number.
But were you sure she?
Yes, I was sure it's her because I went on Google. I made Google my friend. I tried to go get her number. I explained a little bit. Nagamba, okay. Then she gave me appointments on 3 different occasions. Ngamba, tomorrow at 11, let's meet in town. I get to town at 10:30. Ngambi agenda beda ku Sheraton. Mkube esimu ku sawa za appointment. Tajiko atapaka chiro. Kati echiro nga I get back. Nga womanyi gwayagala. Gwayi no kwegonza. Kati nga sidda mwebyo mbwate. Nakubye nota.
Kusawa ze wangambi.
You stood me up. Sibi ogera ko ngamba. Madam. Nsabaka appointment. Encha. Same story. Pako goksat we achikola goksat nengamba why atava ku mulungi afa awoza ekyo nenchi dropping and manya nti ako that's a dead end as well. Nengamba naye kati ne the general brother to the president Vigani President Rachi I'm a citizen, I can get to the president. Yes, the president can talk to anybody as well. Kwanga wafefe na ningamba kati ngenda wa president. Nenonya office of the president nengenda. I have a written letter that was received with a received stamp, a petition to the president. Nengenda ko office area next to the parliament. I dropped the letter, they stamped it, they gave me my copy because they give you a copy, they retain a copy. I have my copy with the stamp. Nenjitereka nemanya nti kemfunye audience cut. I didn't hear from the head of state paka kati. Of course, I'm saying I because I used to champion most of these attempts, but it was joint effort.
With the others.
Yes. So I'm not saying I came up with these ideas on my own. We used to brainstorm. So now I said, let me look for the CDF again. Recently when the CDF had the CDF drill, Ezaba Maje Kololo. Nengezako omunonya. I got close to the powers that be, mami wamita is it Kanora or but he's close to the CDF oba PA oba chi mufunye muyitide
ku social media
no musanga kololo mu bya CDF drill. I made friends with him, I exchanged numbers. By the way, I'm a member of the PLU.
So you were in your circles?
Yes, I'm in my circles. I have this.
You said Kanura?
He's called...
Maybe the name was this.
Yes, probably. I will. Is he a slim,
light-skinned?
No,
that's not the one.
The other is dark skin. I will show you because I have pictures with him. Ngatoli kololo. Mo drill yamokolaga. So, ningamba na ye CDF no to. Kati when we were in Kololo, I asked one of Jukida in Kololo, the CDF drills, waliwa majeba anje motoka za majeze za Green Beach. I asked one of the drivers, omuntu ayagala okulaba CDF akola atya. Nangamba, what we said that wow. Company speak apartments. I know office. Nkera na hotel
ngania inawa office
the CDF. Nakera masuti gange ningamba ngenda kunonya office eyo njagifuna. Nenzija nga mbuliriza nga ku Hotel Africa na mbuza office kati mbangenda nembuza ne ku speak apartments awo abamanja babirawo nagamba CDF I know one. It's true he has an office here but it is one of the private offices takolerawo general business bine byokuyamba abantu obachi it's his private office maybe akolerawo bintu biri classified ebya above nebangamba but what you can do. His brother is always here. In fact, nikati alabika wali. Nimugamba.
Whose brother?
The president's brother.
Okay.
Nimugamba ani. Nti Toyota. Toyota kaguta nti wali. I didn't even think twice. Ningamba already I'm here. Ningamba already I'm here. Katika mulabi. Ngangende wa Mr. Toyota, I was in queue, he was seeing other people who are on appointment. When I went to talk to him, Nangamba, I'm sorry, we cannot have this discussion because Toliko appointment, but make an appointment, come to my office. Gamba, I got the number, but it's always recorded.
Telephone number ya Bwana Toyota na ye recorded.
Yes.
Kuba it eringe hanginga.
Yes.
We shall get back to Bwana Iremana's story. It is very exciting about his predicament with the cabin crew job. Until next time, God bless you. Goodbye.